Good day, everyone. So, we're now going to proceed to the next story. So, for today's lesson or story, it will be about the adventures of Aeneas. So, since it's an adventure, it's quite a long and difficult journey for Aeneas, but it is there are also lessons that we can get from the story. So, this is written by a Roman writer, which is Virgil, and this story was written during the Roman Empire, and there are similarities and differences that we can see from the Greek mythology and from this one, the mythology from the Roman culture. So let me introduce the characters of the story. But first, let me give you trivia, a very quick trivia. So as we go on with the story, we are going to meet characters with different names from their character on the Greek mythology, but they are just the same. So since we are now talking about the Latin or in the Roman mythology, some names of the gods and goddesses from the Greek mythology were changed, and we are going to meet some of them here. So the first character will be Aeneas, which is our main character, and he is the son of Venus. So we all know Venus is from the Greek. So the only Trojan hero to escape the Greeks, and the mythological founder of Rome. So, the Rome now that we know, or the Italy, has a founder according to mythology, and that's Aeneas. So, we are going to know how Aeneas found Italy or the Rome. Next is Andromache and Helenus. So this is Andromache. She is Hector's ex-wife, and this is Helenus. He is a Trojan prophet and a husband and the husband of Andromache. So at this story we are going to know how this thing happened, since Andromache is the wife of Hector, but it's said here that Helenus is Andromache's husband. So next, Juno or Hera. So this is one of the examples I said a while ago. Juno is a Roman name for Hera. Hera is a goddess in Greek mythology. So Juno hates Aeneas and his mother Venus. Aeolus is the king of winds, and when I search about his name, there's no changes that I've seen. So maybe Aeolus is just the same with the king of winds on the Greek and on the Roman. So next is Dido. She is the ruler of Carthage, and Carthage is a place that is the favorite of Juno or Hera. So she is the queen of Dido. Next is Neptune. So here's another example of what I said a while ago. Neptune is the Roman name for Poseidon, the god of sea. Next is Venus. She is Aeneas' mother. The next one is Jupiter. He is the king of gods and men, and he is also known as Zeus in Greek mythology. So next is Cumae, the woman of deep wisdom who can foretell the future. Next is Anchises. He is Aeneas' father. Achates, Aeneas' faithful friend. So probably this is Aeneas, and this one is Achates. Okay, the next one is Charon, the boatman, the ferryman, and we are going to know his role in the story later on. Next is Latinus, the father of Lavinia, Lavinia, the daughter of Latinus, Turnus, the leader of the army, Mezentius, great but cruel warrior and leader of the Etruscans. So actually, Lavinia is going to be the wife of Aeneas at the end of the story. So next is Camilla. She is the famous female warrior who hates marriage. Camilla is a bitter one. So next one is Father Tiber. He is the god of the famous Roman river. Evander, he is the king of the little city before it becomes Italy. So the place that we know now, which is Italy, has a king before named Evander, when it was just a simple and unknown city before. Next is Nisus and Euryalus. They are friends from the Trojan troops, which is on the side of Aeneas, and you're going to know their story and their contribution to Aeneas' journey. Next is Pelias, Evander's son. So he died. Here's the picture, and we will know why. Next, okay, before proceeding to the actual story, we have a question here. If you are a mother to your son, will you intervene with your son's journey, knowing that he will suffer a lot along the way, or let him do it himself? So, probably a lot of you wanted to answer this question, so you can just send your answers and then um, or write down your answers, and we are very much willing to hear those answers from you. So this question is quite difficult and good to ask towards someone, but I think for me it's the other one, just to let him do it himself, because doing it will make lessons and lessons that a person might learn, and it's good to learn. And then if you intervene with someone's journey, it somewhat spoils or affects the journey. So it's just, I think, better to just let that person go along his journey himself. If that person asks for help, and then go. But if the person doesn't ask for help, or seems like he can do it alone, then better let him do it himself. But if you wanted to help, then you can ask it nicely. But since it's a different story, we are going to look or to know how this question is related to the story, and how a mother intervened or with his son's journey. Meron kasing meron kasing nakikisali dun sa journey, and then hindi maganda yung effect, or parang nakaka-affect dun sa effect. Meron namang iba kasi nag-volunteer to help, and then parang hindi alam nung mismong tao na nakisali yung isang tao dun sa nangyayari. Meron kasing alam and merong hindi alam. So we will find out in the story if this one is um a good help towards her son or not. So this story is divided into three parts or three chapters. The first one is from Troy to Italy. The second one is the descent into the lower world, and the third one is the war in Italy. So these are all parts of of Aeneas' journey. So let's start. When the Greeks captured Troy, Aeneas was able to escape from the city with his father and little son because of their mother's help. So kaya nakatakas sila dun sa Troy nung nasakop ng mga Greeks is because of Venus. Venus helped her family to escape. So probably this is Aeneas, this is Venus, this is his little son, and this is their father, or Aeneas' father. This is okay. Many Trojans come with him, and they look for a new place to settle. So maraming taga Troy, or maraming Trojans yung sumama sa pagtakas ni Aeneas. When he set sail from Troy, many Trojans had joined him. All were eager to find somewhere to settle, but no one had any clear idea where that should be. So ilang beses din nagtry yung Trojans, including Aeneas, to start building a new city, but they were all driven away by misfortunes and bad omens. At last, Aeneas was told in a dream that the place destined for them was a country far away to the west, which is called Italy, which was then called Hesperia, the western country. So on the way, the Trojans encountered the same Harpies that the Argonauts had fought. But the Harpies defeat the Trojans and drive them away. So Trojans came upon the Harpies just as Jason and his men had done dun sa previous stories that we have heard. At the next landing place, Aeneas was surprised to see Andromache dahil sila ay natalo dun sa previous na um, napuntahan nila. The Harpies defeated Trojans and drive them away. At doon sila napadpad sa lugar ni Andromache, which is Andromache na asawa ni Hector. But Hector marry another girl which is named Hermione, and he left he left Andromache for Hermione. But then their marriage didn't work out and Hector died. And so Andromache married the Trojan prophet Helenus. She met Helenus, and the two ruled the country and welcomed Aeneas and his men. So nung paglanding nila Aeneas doon ay winelcome sila ni Helenus at ni Andromache, which are the newlywed. So the next, Helenus gave Aeneas directions for his journey and taught him how to avoid Scylla and Charybdis. So Helenus is a prophet. So matalino si Helenus, kaya inadvise niya si Aeneas kung saan siya dapat dumaan para maiwasan yung mga kalaban. But then hindi abot sa kaalaman ni Helenus that somewhere um, in Sicily or near that place do sa pupuntahan nila ay may mga Cyclops. So confident sila Trojan na nagpunta doon sa lugar na yon dahil hindi nila alam na may mga Cyclops doon dahil hindi naman sinabi ni Helenus. But then, nung nakarating na sila doon sa lugar na yon, tas nag-camp sila, they camp in the area when a starving tailor, one of Ulysses' men who was left unintentionally at the Polyphemus cave, warned them. May isang taong naiwan noon, doon sa mga previous story, may isang character doon na naiwan doon sa cave. And yun yung nagsabi dun sa kina Aeneas at saka dun sa kasamahan niya na they shouldn't stay there any longer because there are hundreds of Cyclops that might eat them when they wake up in the next morning or in the following hours. So the Trojans escape just as Polyphemus rushed towards their ship. So buti na lang ay nakatakas na sila. The Trojans, however, had got enough of a start. Before he could reach them, the water had deepened too much even for his towering height. They escaped that peril, but only to meet another as great. While rounding Sicily, they were struck by a storm such as there never was before or since. So nakatakas sila dun sa lugar may mga Cyclops. Pero naka-encounter naman sila ng sobrang malakas na bagyo na parang never pang nagkabagyo noon. The waves were so high that their crest licked the stars, and the gulfs between them so deep that the floor of the ocean was disclosed. It was clearly something more than a mere mortal storm, and in point of fact, Juno was back of it. So, si Juno ay yung enemy ng mga Trojans, and Juno hates Trojans because Juno or Hera is the rival of Venus because Paris chose Venus over her. And since Aeneas is the son of Venus, Juno is also hating Aeneas. And Juno knows that Trojans are the people destined to destroy Carthage, which is Juno's favorite city. Kasi nga Aeneas and the Trojans are going at going along their journey of finding the Italy. And isa sa mga lugar na makakabangga nila is Carthage. And Juno knows that Aeneas and his troop is destined to destroy the Carthage. E paboritong lugar yon ni Hera. So, despite the decrease of the fates, Juno tries to drown Aeneas with a huge storm. Ginawa ni Juno lahat ng paraan para hindi makatuloy si Aeneas sa kanyang journey. nagkaroon ng malaking storm like what is said a while ago, but Juno didn't succeed. Um, on that storm, so there was the sea, and then there enters Aeolus. Aeolus is the king of the winds. So Juno asked help from Aeolus to sink the Trojan ships, and ang kapalit is the loveliest nymph para mapangasawa ni Aeolus. However, Neptune intervenes so that the Trojans can land. Neptune is Poseidon. Since Poseidon is the god of the sea, ayaw niya na nakikisali-sali yung kanyang kapatid sa kanyang business or sa kanyang personal life. Nakialam si Neptune sa away ni Juno at ni Aeneas. Pinahupa niya ang malakas na hangin. Pinuntahan niya si Aeolus at kinausap niya. And then, the Trojans now can land. Pero nung humupa na yung hangin, napadpad pa rin sila sa Northern America. Northern Africa. So, doon sila napadpad sa Northern Africa. The Trojans came ashore near the city of Carthage. So, kahit anong gawin ni Juno na ilayo si Aeneas doon sa kanyang kapalaran, ay yun pa rin at yun ang nangyayari dahil the fate is winning. And Carthage is Juno's pet city. Paborito yun ni Hera, kaya ayaw na ayaw niyang mapupunta doon si Juno. The Trojans came ashore near the city of Carthage, which is ruled by the beautiful widow named Dido. So, si Juno, ginawa niya lahat ng paraan. She conspires that Dido and Aeneas should fall in love, hoping that it will divert Aeneas from going to Italy. So, inisip ni Juno na kapag nagkagusto si Aeneas kay Dido, ay maapektuhan yung journey ni Aeneas para hindi siya makadiretso sa Italy. Venus, however, complained to Jupiter. So, si Venus, yung nanay ni Aeneas, nalalaman na yung mga nangyari at pagpapahirap ni Juno, ay nagreklamo siya kay Jupiter, which na si Zeus. At this is actually the question a while ago. If you are the mother, are you going to intervene or makikialam ka ba doon sa journey ng iyong anak kapag siya ay nakita mo nang nahihirapan or hahayaan mo siya? So Venus, however, complained. Yun yung ginawa ni Venus. She complained to Jupiter about her son's hardships. But Jupiter, or Zeus, reiterates the promise of fates. Sinabi ni Zeus na huwag daw mag-alala si Venus because after all those battles and hardships that Aeneas will encounter, the fate will win and mangyayari pa rin yung nakaplano. So, Venus sends Cupid to make sure that Dido falls in love with Aeneas, but also that Aeneas does not love her in return. So, Venus is the mother. So, dahil nga ang plano ni Juno ay magkaroon ng love between Dido and Aeneas, si Venus naman humingi siya ng tulong or kay Cupid, kinausap niya si Cupid para naman si Dido lang yung magkagusto kay Aeneas at si Aeneas ay hindi magkagusto dun sa kanyang anak. Dido is so hospitable to Aeneas and his men and even give him as much power as if he were her king and loves him and provides for him ceaselessly. So, ang kwento nga pala dito ay Venus, the mother. Nagpanggap si Venus noon hindi as Venus but another person para dalhin or ituro si Dido or yung lugar ni Dido kay ni Aeneas. Nagpanggap siya noong ibang babae para dalhin mismo kay Dido kasi nga si Venus ay nagplano na dapat si Dido lang yung magkagusto kay Aeneas para hindi makaapekto doon sa journey. Yun naman yung kay Venus nagkakontra yung kay na Juno at kay na Venus. But the truth is, Venus is the one who make way para mas mapadali yung pagkikita ni Aeneas at ni Dido. Nagpanggap siya noon and then yun nga, hanggang sa makarating sila Aeneas sa lugar ni Dido. And then, Dido is so hospitable to Aeneas. So, no, when Dido saw Aeneas, so, it happened. The magic happened there. And then, his men, together with Aeneas, were given so much power as if he were the king. And Dido loves him and provides for him ceaselessly. So, nangyari yung plinano nung nanay ni Aeneas. But later on, we will see if Juno's plan also happened. So, Jupiter grows weary of this interlude and he sends Mercury to Aeneas. So, ayan. Naumay na si Jupiter doon sa mga nangyayari. Kaya, pinuntahan na niya. Kasi ang tagal na nagtigil na ni Aeneas kay na Dido. And si Dido naman ay pinagsisilbihan yung mga Trojans at saka si Aeneas. Kasi nga, may gusto na siya kay Aeneas. Lahat ng kailangan nila ay inabigay ni Aeneas ni Dido. Because Dido is the queen of the place and everything that she can give to Trojans and Aeneas are given to them, especially to Aeneas. So, na-board nakakahintay si Jupiter, feeling ni Jupiter ay nakakatagal na dun sa talagang reason kung bakit si Aeneas ay napadpad doon, which is his great destiny to found Italy. Jupiter grows weary of this interlude and he sends Mercury to Aeneas to remind him of his great destiny. He is always ready to go but afraid of breaking Dido's heart. So, ayun yung nangyari. This is one of the things that Juno wanted to happen. That when Dido and Aeneas fall in love with each other, the journey of going to finding Italy will be controlled or mas matatagalan. But then, Jupiter sent Mercury and pinaalalahanan si Aeneas sa kanyang talagang role kung bakit siya nandoon. Nevertheless, he lives with his men while Dido sobs and hides from everyone. Kahit na naawa siya kay Dido, or kahit na ganun yung nangyari, ay umalis pa din si Aeneas at saka yung mga Trojans. And then, pwede kasing sa isang sabi lang ni Dido na wag silang matuloy as the queen, it will happen. So, they leave the place immediately and then Dido sobs and hide from everyone. Of course, Dido was sad. So, as he sails away, he sees smoke rising from Carthage, but he does not know that it is Dido's funeral pyre. So, yun na pala ang end ni Dido because Dido killed herself. When Aeneas left, Dido killed herself. So, before Aeneas left Dido in Carthage, their conversation goes like this. Dido said, "Is it from me you would fly? Let these tears plead for me. This hand I gave you, if I have in any way deserved well of you, if anything of mine was ever sweet to you." Then Aeneas replied, "Cease these complaints, which only trouble us both." But little did Aeneas know that Dido killed herself. So that's the end of their story, and Aeneas continued on his journey. So the next, chapter 2, the descent into the lower world. So it's a very heartbreaking story for Dido and Aeneas. That's the first part of the story. So later on we will see if they met again, even Dido is already dead. So chapter 2, the descent into the lower world. Aeneas' journey from the Carthage to Italy is easier than before. Helenus had also told him to find the cave of the Sibyl of Cumae, a woman of deep wisdom, when he reached Italy, as she could foretell the future and could tell him on what to do next. Because Aeneas is designed for his journey to find as the founder of Italy. Helenus advised him again to to find a cave because Cume is there and Cume will help him to reach Italy because Cume knows to how to foretell the future and knows what to do next. So Aeneas finds the Sibyl or Cume, but she says she must take him to Hades to talk with his father Anchises, who died on the journey before Carthage during the storm. So kung naalala natin kanina yung journey nila kung saan nagkaroon ng storm, isa pala sa mga namatay doon ay yung tatay ni Aeneas, which is si Anchises. So, sinabi ni Sibyl na kailangan na magpunta sila kay Hades because there ay andoon si Anchises, yung tatay ni Aeneas. So, the descent into the lower world. To enter Hades, Aeneas must find a mythical golden bow growing in the forest. Venus sends two doves to lead Aeneas and his friends. So again, pumasok na naman sa eksena yung kanyang nanay, which is the Venus. Nagpadala ng two doves para ituro sa kanila yung golden bow. So this is the picture. This is Aeneas, the two doves sent by his mother, and the golden bow. They pluck it and bring it to Sibyl, and they began their journey. Nung makita na ni Aeneas yung golden bow, kinuha nila yun, and then dinala kay Sibyl, and then they began their journey. They passed by horrible forms of disease, hunger, war, and discord, and innumerable lost souls on the banks of the Cocytus and Acheron. So just like the other goddess and gods from the Greek mythology stories before, their journey on the lower world or the underworld is towards Hades is never easy because they got to meet diseases, hunger, war, and discord, and lost souls. So imagine walking there, having your journey with those kinds of creatures, weird things. Charon the boatman at first, so Charon was there to bring them to the place they need to be for their journey. At first, tumanggi si Charon na pasakayin sila para makapunta sa kabilang lugar but because of the golden bow, nung nakita yun ni Charon, pumayag na siyang dalhin pasakayin sila dun sa bangka ni Charon. So Charon became their ferryman and carried them across. So they met Cerberus on the other side of the river, but like Psyche on the stories before, the Sibyl appeases him with some cake. So there's really something with the cake that makes Cerberus or the three-headed dog tamed. So they walk past of the fields of mourning lovers, and Aeneas sees Dido there. Okay, so they meet again. So the first part of this adventure of Aeneas is very heartbreaking, and the second part, Aeneas sees Dido there. He tries to apologize to her. Kinausap ni Aeneas si Dido, ni sorry, ganyan-ganyan. He talked to her, but sadly, Dido refuses to even recognize him. Aeneas weeps at the encounter. So, I think Juno that didn't I think Juno's plan happened because Aeneas weeps. So it means he cared for Dido and he is sorry for what happened to Dido. But then the love story ended sadly because Dido killed herself. So when they met, Dido didn't recognize him. At last they find Anchises in the Elysian fields, the blissful home of the righteous dead. So Anchises is the father of um, Aeneas. So he was a righteous dead. And the father and the son talk with one another and shows him the Lethe, the river of forgetfulness that dead souls drink of before they are born again. So pinakita nung tatay yung river of forgetfulness. So maybe Dido drink there because she forgets about Aeneas. But then going further on the story, he also showed Aeneas many great romance who will be his descendants, and instructs him how to establish home in Italy. So the reason why Sibyl pala told Aeneas to look for his father in the lower world is because his father will instruct him on the other things to do in finding the place Italy. So Aeneas returned to the earth's surface and sails up the coast of Italy with the other Trojans. So nung nakabalik na sila, Juno causes new troubles for Aeneas in Italy. So this is the part 3 already, which is the war in Italy. So from the lower world, or from Hades place, nakalabas na sila, and Aeneas got to gather information from his father, but then when they reach Italy, Juno causes many troubles, and things go well at first. Pero dahil nga kay Juno, nagkagulo-gulo na naman, and there started the war in Italy. Latinus, king of the Latins, receives Aeneas hospitably and hopes that he will marry his daughter, Lavinia, who is fated to marry a foreigner. So, Juno went to Alecto, one of the Furies, to ruin Latinus' plan. So, because Latinus became a friend of Aeneas, and even wanted his daughter to marry Aeneas, Juno got angry and went to Alecto to ruin the plan of the Latinos. Alecto caused Latinus' wife Amata to violently oppose the marriage. Alecto flies to Rutulians, the other powerful people of the area, whose leader Turnus, their king, was the one to marry Lavinia before Aeneas came. So si Latinus nga yung nag-welcome kay Aeneas at sa kanyang mga troops, at si Latinus yung tatay ni Lavinia, which is nakaplanong magpakasal kay Turnus, na hari naman ng isa pang makapangyarihang grupo, which are the Rutulians. Because of Juno's plan to ruin Latinus' plan, inutusan niya si Alecto na pumunta sa asawa ni Latinus na si Amata para gawa ng paraang hindi matuloy ang kasal ni Aeneas at ni Lavinia, at matuloy ang kasal ni Lavinia kay Turnus. Alecto's third act of discord involves a farmer's pet stag who is very popular with the Latins. So, hindi pa rin tumigil si Juno sa kanyang ang pakikigulo sa journey ni Aeneas towards Italy, the foundation of Italy. Si Alecto ay inutusan niya pa rin, and then nagkataon na isang farmer na kilala sa mga Latinos ay napatay. So nagalit yung mga Latinos. Alecto guides the unwitting Ascanius, Aeneas' young son. So, di ba nung sila ay lumabas ng Greek, kasama ni Aeneas yung kanyang young son na si Ascanius. And Alecto uses Ascanius, his young son, to kill the farmer. And ikinagalit siya nung mga Latin. And nagalit din yung mga Rutalians, kaya nagkampihan ang Rutalian at ang Latin, na dati ay nagpaplanong ikasal ang anak nung hari ng Latin and yung king ng Rutalian. Nagpaplanong ipakasal si Lavinia doon sa king ng Rutalian, but then because of what happened, nagkampihan na lang sila. Instead of Latin going with the Trojans, the Latin goes along with the Rutalians and fight against the Trojans. King Latinus also stopped helping Aeneas. Juno herself opened the gates of Janus. Bida-bida si Juno. So, inopen niya yung gate ng Janus Temple, which means start of the war. So, Rutulians and Latins march against the small group of Trojans. So, maliit lang yung grupo ni Aeneas. So, talagang luging-lugi sila doon sa combination ng Latins and Rutalians. The advancing army is led by Turnus, along with Mezentius, a great warrior who was so cruel to his people. Mezentius is another warrior, but from the Etruscans. But dahil siya ay cruel sa kanyang mga tao, yung mga Etruscans rebelled against him. So Mezentius became a great warrior together with the Rutulians and Latins. and together with Camilla, who is a famous female warrior who scorns marriage. So Camilla hates marriage. Aeneas gets help from the father Tiber, who told the god of the now famous Roman river, who tells him to go upstream and find Evander. So dahil talo sila sa number ng troops nila, pumunta siya kay Father Tiber and asked for help. And Father Tiber directed him to Evander, a king of a little town that will one day become Rome itself. So, doon na pala yung lugar na magiging Rome or Italy today, sa lugar ni Evander. Hintusan siya ni Father Tiber na humingi doon ng tulong. Evander and his son Pallas received Aeneas gladly, but their kingdom is too small to offer much help. Even now, Italy is a very small place. And before, even Evander knows that their place is too small and the people or their fighters are not that big. They still help Aeneas, and even offers his son Pallas to fight with the Trojans against the Rhetorians and the Latins. Evander advised him to ask help from Etruscans, and because here Mezentius is the warrior that sided with the Rhetorians and Latins, but he was the leader of the Etruscans. Nagrebelde yung Etruscans sa kanya dahil masama siya at malupit. Kaya si Evander ay in-advisean si Aeneas na puntahan ang mga Etruscans to avenge themselves against Mezentius. At yun yung nangyari. Nakipagtulungan ng Etruscans kay Aeneas kasi alam nilang ang kanilang dating leader na si Mezentius ay magiging kalaban para makaganti sila sa cruelty nung leader nila dati. Evander also sent some of his men, including his son. The Trojans are beset by Turnus' army. They are greatly outnumbered and will fall unless they can get word to Aeneas. So, na-outnumber na noong mga dahil si Aeneas ay wala nung time na yon at nakikipag-usap kay Evander at kay King Tiber, yung Trojans ay tawag dito, naiipit na nung Turnus army dahil sila ay kukunti lamang. So may dalawa dong magkaibigang Trojans, which are Nisus and Euryalus. They decided to slip through the enemy lines and find Aeneas. Hinanap na nila si Aeneas, who was during those time looking for a way on how they will have many men on their side. So they kill many men in silence, but Euryalus is captured. So nahuli naman si Euryalus. Nakalusot sila dun sa mga enemy dahil nahanap na nila si Aeneas, which is finding a way nung time na yun. And nahuli nung time na yun si Euryalus, though madami nang napatay si Euryalus. Instead of running away, Nisus tried to save his friend, and both of them died fighting. Nisus didn't leave Euryalus. They both fight against the enemies, but they ended up fighting because they are just two people against many, so they both died fighting. Aeneas returned with the army of Etruscans, and it started a long list of battles. So, nung nakumbinsa na ni Aeneas yung mga Etruscans, doon na nagsimula ang mas totoong battle. But Camilla, Mezentius, and Pallas all die. So, namatay si Camilla, yung bitter sa marriage, and Mezentius, the leaders of Etruscans before, namatay sila. At ang nakapatay mismo ay yung nakasasakupan ni Mezentius because they avenged against him, against his cruelty. They took revenge. And Pallas, the son of Evander. Here, okay, let's go here. Let's go back. Where is it? The son of Evander died. It was said here that Evander also sent some of his men, including his son. So Evander was the leader before of that small city that is going to be the Italy now. He offered his son and some of his men, but his son died. Turnus and Aeneas meet in single combat, but Aeneas transformed from a normal human hero into something larger and almost like a god. He killed Turnus. So probably this is Turnus and this is Aeneas. So an extraordinary thing happened, just like what the story of Hercules and the other stories of heroes. Aeneas transformed from a normal human hero into something larger and almost like a god. So probably it looks like Hercules, though he killed Turnus. Aeneas married Lavinia and founded the Roman race. So they defeated Latinus and Rutilians, and then Lavinia, as the daughter of Latinus, married Aeneas and founded the Roman race. So Evander, the king of the that small city, which is now Italy, let Aeneas married Lavinia, and there started the Roman race, which, according to Virgil the writer, is destined to rule over all the earth and crush all pride and resistance. So let's see if it will happen. And so that's the end of the Aeneid. So, as what I have said a while ago, this last part is going to be a part for Virgil the writer. So Virgil's full name is Publius Virgilius Maro. So let's okay. The greatest of Latin stories and the chief authority of this story. It was written when Augustus had taken over the bankrupt Roman world after the chaos that followed Caesar's assassination. So it is said that Aeneid, the greatest Latin poem from where the story Adventures of Aeneas came from, was written during the bankrupt um, of the Roman world. And then Virgil was fired with enthusiasm for the new order, and so Aeneid was written to exalt the empire, to provide a great national hero and a founder for the race destined to hold the world beneath its rule. So we can see here at this story the combination and the differences and the similarities of the Greek and the Roman mythology. So in Greek mythology, it is showcased there the the strengths, the powers, doon nakafocus yung Greek mythology. But here, it is the journey that matters more in Roman mythology, according to Virgil and according to some analysis of good and famous authors out there when I am making my research. So first, they have differences and similarities with the names, with the powers of the characters of the gods and goddesses. And the second realization that I have is that the Greek mythology focuses mainly on the strengths, on the powers, on everything that the gods and goddesses can do. But here, in this one, it focuses on the journey itself and the lesson. So that's all. I hope all of you learned something from this story. Thank you for listening.